Let's see how to create prototypes in Adobe XD. Click Prototype at the top or Control-Tab to switch to the prototype mode. To create the flow of your app, connect an artboard to the next artboard in your experience using a wire. Click on either the artboard or an object on the artboard and drag from the blue arrow to another artboard. To remove an interaction, drag the wire to an empty space between artboards. Now I'll wire an object to an artboard. Click on an object, or use Command-Click on Mac or Control-Click on Windows to select an object in a group or repeat grid and drag the wire from the blue arrow to the appropriate artboard. I'll wire this sign-in button to the main product page. In this case, when a user clicks on the sign-in button, the sign-in screen will dissolve into the main product page and ease out on the animation in a span of 0.4 of a second. Now let's test the flow of the app. Start with identifying the home screen, which is where our experience will begin. The home screen icon is in the top left corner. When it's blue, it means that this artboard is set as the home screen and that the prototype preview will start here. You can change the home screen by clicking this icon on another artboard, but I'll leave it set to the sign-in screen for now. I'll click the Preview button or Command-Enter on Mac or Control-Enter on Windows 10. The in-app preview starts with the home screen artboard. When users interact with the preview, the hotspots guide the user through the app prototype. I see the entire page, but it is too small for a user on a mobile device. I'll go back to design mode, click the title of the artboard and change it to vertical scrolling. I want to simulate the height of a device's actual viewport, so I'll set the height to 667 pixels. Now I can scroll. Make any change to the design or prototype and see the change take effect immediately. I'll keep the preview window open to experiment with more settings. I'll change the transition to slide left, have it ease in, and change the timing to a full second. When I test again, the product screen slides over the sign-in screen with a kind of parallax effect. For contrast, I'll change the transition to push left. Notice the product screen now pushes the sign-in screen out of the way. For simulating a state change, use the none transition. For example, I'll come down here and wire these artboards and set the transition to none. Notice the easing and timing are now grayed out. That's because we want the effect to appear instantly. When I preview and click on the screen, it shows what the experience would look like to a user tapping a checkbox in this app. Another important transition is the previous artboard option, which directs the user back to the screen they just came from. This is great for the back buttons. I'll click here on the back arrow and set the target to previous artboard. Notice when I do that, all of the other options go away. That's because the interaction is now wired to send the user back to the screen they just came from, and the transition easing will match. I just noticed there are some design elements missing. I'll copy this icon and paste it onto the artboard here. When I do, the icon and the interaction get copied over with it. Copy and paste with interactions only works in prototype mode. If you want to copy and paste elements without copying the interactions, you can do that in design mode. If you have a standard interaction that you would apply to multiple objects or artboards, you can use paste interaction. Simply select the object or artboard that has the transition you want to copy, right-click and select Copy. Then select the objects or artboards that you want to apply the interaction to, right-click and select Paste Interaction. The interaction including target, transition, easing, and timing will be applied. Here's the complete prototype. I'll click Command-A on Mac and Control-A on Windows to see the interactions that have been wired between artboards. This covers creating prototypes. Be sure to check out the other tutorials available for Adobe XD.